All right. Good morning once again. So, just to recap what we did last time, uh, we were able to set up a development environment using the prescribed framework, Workbench. That was what led to the creation of this file. And I told us that all you need is to launch the file you have created, just like I just clicked now, and that will take us back to the development environment. So, and we also learned how to create database using my SQL query statements. We also talk about how to import um, external data into our created database as a table. So this section, I'm going to take it further than that. We'll be looking at some data cleaning techniques in SQL. You know, I told us that we have data cleaning across all the data analytics tools. We have different techniques which we use in cleaning our data when working with advanced Excel. We also have them like that when working with Python or Power BI. The same thing with SQL. So they all have their technical ways of modifying or perfecting any given data before you can proceed with your analysis. So before we continue, we will have to use the database like I explained to us the other time. I think the database we are using here, or the one we loaded our data into, was Digitech, I think so. I'm wondering why I can't find it. Okay, yeah, it's here. So it's Digitech. But if you look at the selection of the table, sorry, of the database, you will notice that you are not currently in Digitech database. Instead, you are in customer. So remember, I told us that there is a keyword which will enable you to select a particular database that you want to work with part time. So want to work with Digitech database. So I either continue from this query platform, or I go to File and select New Query tab, and then I'll do Use Digitech, and then of course, like I advise us, always end your SQL code or line of code with semicolon. Then you press Control and Enter for execution, or you depend on the provided application tabs like this. All right, so I'm going to use comment as well. So we want to quickly look at the data cleaning, some of the amendments or adjustments that can be done on a given data set. Most of these that I'm going to talk about in this section, if you do not know how to go about them, it might take you back to Excel, which probably you are familiar with, to go and start doing all this cleaning before you can reload the data here. But to avoid that, there are some of them we can easily handle that would not involve us going back to Excel. So like I said, we want to quickly look at data cleaning in SQL. So we are not new to the term data cleaning in the field of data analytics. data cleaning is actually a process that a data analyst engages himself or herself in order to perfect the data. Because we understood that when you analyze erroneous data, there are every possibility of you misleading the organization because your statistics may not or will not be correct. And that is a serious damage that can be caused. And that is why we are always advised to always look at the data we are given and check if there is a need for us to adjust one or two things which falls under data cleaning. Once you tamper with the data you are given to analyze, you are already engaging in that process called data cleaning. Whether you are removing anything, you are restructuring the data, you are adding, all of these exercise or activities are recognized as data cleaning. Now, the best advice is that before you embark on this, make sure that the original data is back up somewhere so that in the course of the cleaning, in case you destroy it, you can always call back the original one. All right, so this is with that assumption that we have kept the original copy somewhere. So the first task I'm going to do here, now that I'm in the table, I will just quickly write a code to know the number of tables in the selected database. So that I will know which of the table I want to clean up its value. So this tells me that we have Amazon, we have datasets, and what example table. So I want to work with Amazon. Now the first thing I'm going to do is to write an SQL query statement to look into the values in that table, Amazon. And not just some value, I want to look into all the values. So which means I have to write an SQL query statement to call out all the records in the Amazon table. So to do that, I will write select, then add the asterisk, which means all, from which location, then specify the name of the table, and then also end your code. Control Enter. Now I have all the values called out. So the first data cleaning exercise is how to add a column to an existing data set. So I'm going to be using comment, like I said, adding new column to an existing data set. So now, after looking at this table, I discovered I have this number of headers. So let's say I want to add another heading called, let me just call it address, just for an example. Because we should know that there are times that we can be given data sets, and after looking at the data set and being able to identify the analysis you want to perform, you will not conclude that there might be need for you to engineer new headers for you to be able to perform the analysis. Let's say you are given a data set that have quantity, that have rates, but there is no total, and you want to analyze the total. So which means that you have to add total since you are already having quantity and you're already having what? Rates. All right, so the only thing you would do is that you have to multiply the value in quantity by the value in rate to generate the value that will come under what? The total created header. So I just cited that scenario just to let you know that there are situations, there are scenarios where you might be asked to generate another heading. So that is where you will need this syntax instead of you going back to the application where the data was initially computed. So what is a syntax? The syntax is we are going to use a keyword. So let me add it here. So we are using SQL keyword. Remember, I've explained the meaning of the keyword alter. We are going to use this. So this is one of the keyword that we are going to use almost most of the things I'm going to do. Alter, that is, you want to implement some changes. So the keyword, the general syntax of it is this. I think let me make also understand the syntax. So the syntax, the way you are expected to communicate it is that you start by calling the keyword alter, and then after that followed by another keyword called table. So these are the first two keywords. Then once you have typed that, the next one is you specify the table name that you want to, alter some of the field in it. So in this case, our table name, let me still put it this way. So your table underscore name follows. Your table underscore name follow. Your table underscore name follow. Then after that, there you bring in another keyword called what? Add. All right. So this is the best way we can learn some of this keyword. And then if you like, you take it to the next line, or you can just write everything on the same line. So once you have added the add keyword, the next one is followed by the column name that you want to add. Remember that we're talking about adding a new column. Now, that column name, you need to specify the data type. Remember, we talked about data type the other time, where we talk about whether it is variable character or date or float or big integer or integer, or there are so many data types. So any header you are introducing, you must specify the name of that header and the corresponding data type. So let's assume that in this data set, like I told you, we want to add address. So following that syntax, so I will start with alter, and then followed by table as the next keyword, and then followed by the table what? The table name, which is what? Amazon. All right. Now, followed by the column name that you want to add. So like I said, I can say, okay, I want to add address. And then after this, I need to specify, you space, and then you specify the data type. All right. So let's say it's going to be varchar, and then you have to put the character size, the field size. Remember, I talk about having this, and then you close it. Right. So now you have the formats, and then once you have added the data type, remember that you must close it with the semicolon. Now, once you are typing and you see something like this, means something is missing. What is missing? We have not added add keyword before the specification of the column name. So how to bring this? You see, SQL is very sensitive. Once something is missing, you always see that red underline. So once you see it, always be reminded that something is missing. Then you debug. So now I want to run this code, which means that it's going to add this new column, and then with this data type to this table. So let's run it and see. So perfect. So once it accepts it like this, now all I need to do to see, to view the table again so that I will know whether the header has actually been added, is for me to what? To write, to call out, to write this code again. But since I already have it here, I can decide to come to this line and use this option. So this is the best scenario to use this. You have a bunch of code and you want to run a particular line. There's no point of you rewriting it since you have written it. You can just go there and use this option. And then by the time it brings it out, you check, you should be able to find what? The address. So currently the address does not have what? Values. But I'm just using this to teach you data cleaning. All right. So any question? Did you understand what I did? I hope it's well understood, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you try it, or as you continue first, maybe later you go through them.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so the next one is, let's assume now that you know how to add a new column. So if you are given a data set, and we are still going to look at, but I don't want to bring it under this topic, how to adding that adding this column is to multiply the value here. Maybe the values here are supposed to be the value here dividing this value here, and then the values will be computed under it. That is where we get to SQL what? Calculation. That is aggregating. That is where I'm going to teach you how, because most time it's not just adding the column. You need to also find out how it will be populated with values. So most time what we add it is that we have a particular header, like the way we have maybe quantity, or we have unit price, and then we are looking for total. Let's say we do not have this total revenue, and the data set we are given has unit price and unit cost. And for example, I have quantity also. Yeah, we have units sold. This, I think this represents the quantity. And I'm very sure that this unit sold was multiplied with unit price to get what, probably what? Total revenue. So in that case, you create this, and then you will now instruct that what the value here should be this times this. Well, that is under aggregation. I don't want to distract you. I want to take it step by step. So now the next one is, how do we drop? Let's say you are given a data set and you have a column like this without values, and that will only be distracting you. So what do you do as a data analyst to drop it? Because you feel that if you don't drop it, it's going to be obstructing so many things you want to do. So there are many scenarios whereby you can be asked to drop a column or a feature within your data set. So comment how to drop a specific column in a given data set. So e.g. here in our own case here, e.g. we want to drop the address that we just created. So what is the syntax for dropping? Let me like highlighting syntax, because I don't joke with syntax in programming. Once you understand the syntax, it's very easy for you to interpret. So the syntax will be alter, like I told you, because you want to interrupt the process. Alter, table is a keyword. Both of them are keyword. Then the name of the table also follow. So let me still put table underscore name. The name of the table you want to drop, one of each field follow. Then followed by the keyword in the place of add. Now you are now putting what? Drop. Remember I told us last time that drop in SQL means to delete. Now the column you want to drop, you specify it, the column name follow, and then before you end your code. So you can see now I have an understanding of the syntax. I can easily interpret it. I will just be substituting. So I will start with alter. You can write it in capital letter or small letter to still work. Alter table, these are the two keywords first. Then from here, then the table name, Amazon, that is the table that we want to drop a particular field from. Then we will now write our drop. Our drop follows keyword. Then after that, then followed by the column name. Remember the column name is address that we just what added. And then before you what you end it. Very short code. Then if I run it now, you see that what perfect, accepted. And then for me to check if the column is still there, is for me to run this. I don't want to overcrowd my workspace. So you can see where I want to execute a command that I've written before. I'm able to go back. These are some of the advantages of using Workbench, this flexibility. If you are using the other ones, it's not going to be possible like this, particularly the ones that are not in the same category with this. So if I click here now and run this again, and then let me check again to the end, then the column has gone. I hope that is understood as well, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we are still on data cleaning. We are still on data cleaning. Now, if I want to probably, let's say I want to modify, I want to modify a column data type. I want to modify a column data type. Now, there are times that you can be doing some calculation and you what scenario will I use here now? You can be doing some calculation and you want to add values. For example, you want to multiply one value, maybe value in one column with another. And you now discover that, you know, the summation function is supposed to add number, not text. But unfortunately, when you were loading in the data, instead of the program recognizing it as a float or integer, it recognizes it as a text. And then you are doing the summation, you keep getting error. So in that case, you have to change the data type. You have to change the data type from that text to like maybe floats or integer before that summation can happen. So that is the best scenario to apply.
Sir, sir.
Okay.
Okay. For instance, now, like total revenue,
Hmm.
and we know that the data type of total revenue is integer. And if it's giving me problem,
Hmm.
can I change it to another type of data
Yes,
type?
yes,
So,
that
so,
is what we are trying to work on now.
so what will it not give me error? Because I mean, the program already know that this type of data type, and I'm changing it to another um, data type.
Yes, it will give you uh it will give you error because except if it's not compatible. But if it was wrongly read and you are trying to correct it, it won't give you error. It won't give you error. So what we are saying now is that let's run let's try it, see is believing. So like I said, what how to SQL query statements. to change data type. So we are just learning. So if the scenario did not arise, there's no point. But I'm only trying to show you what you need to know. Now, the first thing you are going to do, you need to have an idea of the data type there. So you cannot just call out a column now. You want to change a data type when you do not even know whether the current one is exactly what you intend to change to. So we are going to write an SQL statement. Say show columns, just to display all the column. Show columns, and then from which table? Let's say the Amazon table. Let's say we want to see the column there so that we have an idea of the data type. So you can see that as soon as I run this code, I'm able to display all the column and their data type. Now, region is telling me that what is test, which is correct, which is the same thing as variable character. Then test, 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 test. Now, let's check costs. Total cost, we have double. Revenue, we have double, which means they are numbers with decimal what? Point. Remember. So everything is then units sold, integer, because they are numbers. So let's say deliberately, let's say this is what I was trying to make us understand. You can be given a data set like this, where this revenue that's supposed to be double will now be taking test. Definitely, if you are trying to sum up the values here, you are going to get error because number one, the language did not recognize them as number that can be summed up. That is what I'm. But if it does not happen, but if it happens, then you must find a way out. And that is exactly what we want to do here. So now that
Okay,
we
sorry,
have,
sir. So,
okay,
sorry, sir.
okay.
On the data type, what's the difference between double and integer?
The difference between double and integer, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Double, double is number with decimal units. For example, now 500.5, that is double. They are both number. While integer means whole number, number without what? Decimal units. You know, we have explained all these things in Python that time. Do you still remember?
Yes, in Python,
So
one of them is float. The other one,
good. Now that double means float. Good. I think that is the best. That may be what you are looking for. The
okay.
double means float. That's why when I was teaching us in Python, I said, is either you call decimal number as floats or you call them what? Double. Why the word double is used? Because if I want to call 80.5, I can I can separate it. There are two numbers. I can have 80.0 or just 80. Then I can have 0.5. So when you look at them, they're actually what? Double number. That is where the word double came from. So now let's quickly look at how do we alter the data type. How do we alter the data type? That is, now like I told you, we just discovered that here, let's say we want to target, which one should I target here? I want to target total cost. Let me not tamper with the ones that are very useful. I want to target total costs. So I'm going to write alter as usual, alter, since we will now understand most of the syntax. Let me just go straight. So alter, then from alter table, remember that these two keywords are constant. Then the table name, which is still Amazon, the table name, which is still Amazon. Then, like I said, all these things you are writing on a straight line, you can decide to break them just for code formatting. Then, you will now specify another keyword, which is called modify. Modify is a keyword. then followed by the column name you want to change its data type. All right, so, but we are going to use a keyword called column to reference that column name. So in this case, our column name is total, follow the way it's written in the data set, total underscore. I pray you recognize that underscore. And then the C is also capital letter. So you follow it like that. And then you specify the new data type. So here, since it was double, let's say I want to change it to varchar, and then of course specify the the field size, which is, let's say, 100. All right, so you can see the simple syntax. Just get it, the logic. Alter table is a keyword. The name of the table, you must always reference it. Then modify column. They are another word, keyword. All right. So this column is to call out the column in which you want to change something there. And then you go ahead and call the type of data. And then if it's the one that require assigning field size, you apply it. And then if I run it, if it doesn't throw any error, perfect. So now I will run this code again and see whether the double had changed to what? A variable character. So there's a place where I've written it before. Here, I will just run this code again. And then I check. Let me go to that total cost where was it total cost, right? Total cost. Perfect. So you can see that what? We have been able to what? To change it. I hope that is clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So make sure you are documenting when you watch the video, because these are very, very important. All these that I don't want to just train us just for data analysis. I want a situation whereby you should be able to take just standalone SQL job outside data analysis, because when you know all these things, all these keywords, these are what makes you a database what administrator. So these are things at some points you'll be asked to do. If you are managing a back end of a website for an organization, it is expected that you have this core knowledge. All right, so let's look at another one, how to rename. I just told us something the other time that if you mistakenly load in data sets that have a header with two words as description, let's say customer and name, and there is space in between them, that space SQL does not tolerate it. So which means that if you don't know what I am going to teach you now, what you are going to be doing is that you go back to Excel, because sometimes data cleaning is very easy in Excel. So almost everybody, people that don't like go through difficult things, they prefer cleaning their data in Excel. But as a matter of fact, tech is not where the money is. In tech, it's not that domain where things are simple. That is one thing people learner need to understand. You don't say you want to break into tech and then you go to where things are simple. You will get money there because a lot of people are there. So those areas that they rejected because it's difficult, try and penetrate. That is where the uniqueness that will bring the money is. So a lot of people will just prefer when they load data here and they are running SQL script and they are getting error, they will go back to Excel and go and change all those heading, put underscore, all those things just because it's easier. Then they will not reload. But when you understand how to alter, how to rename the column, it's very easy. So now let me also execute this line to bring back the column, and then I'll check which one I want to rename. So now, thank God, we have order space dates. There's no space. We have order priority, there's no space, like this says underscore channel. So if I want to change it to what? Order. Maybe I just want to make it just one word, like I advised us the other time. So how do I go about that? So we are targeting order what? Priority. So the next one, I have to end it here. If not, the next code will throw error. So the next data cleaning is what? How to rename. Remember, we did something like this even in Python. How to rename features or column in a given data set. In a given data set. How to in a given data set. So the syntax is still going to be alter. You can see just that keyword is what I want us to understand. Alter, alter, table is a constant, then followed by the name Amazon, Amazon, then the followed by another keyword, followed by another keyword. I can break it or I can write it the straight line. And the rename. Rename is a keyword in SQL. Then what do you want to rename? You must reference that is column that you want to rename. So I'll bring another keyword column. Another keyword column. So once you have typed the column, then follow by, I think I'm not correct with, okay, follow by the name of the column you want to what? Rename. So in this case, I said you want to rename a order or priority. So let's type it the way it is there. Order, I think there's space, one single space, then priority, order or priority. Now you can see the challenge now. The order or priority has space. So what I will do to help myself, because you can see this one is having different color from this, which means that what is having issue detecting this. So I will use inverted comma. That is under your escape button. Under your escape button, you see the inverted comma. Just use it to envelope it because there's space there. Then after that, you now bring in to. To is another keyword. That is what? From this to, then the new column name. So the new column name can be, let's say what? I just want to put order. This order will be a keyword, though. Be a keyword. Okay, let's say order of, I want to put underscore priority. Priority. And then you end your code. So remember one unique thing that I did here, because you can run into that challenge where the current word has space and you type it, you see that what is not recognizing it as one. So you use the inverted comma. So what inverted comma can be gotten from your keyboard under the escape button. There you see that sign there. So if I run it and see if it accepts it, perfect. And then what I need to do is to check back the data and see if I've actually changed it. So where will I run it now? I think okay, let me run the name of the column. I'll find out from here. Where is that place where I show column name? Let me run this code and see. So let me go straight to perfect. I can see it here already. You can see that I've changed it from what? It was order priority, but there was space, but now the underscore is acknowledged. Is it understood, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll give you a 5 minutes break, 5 minutes for you to play around this. When I come back, I want to see some of the things you have done before I continue. So your 5 minutes starts now.
That's the last one. Yeah, I did the under the name thing. So I changed it from,
Okay.
can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I changed it from gender to sex. Um, yeah, it reflected, or uh, Then at this point, I wanted to change this reading score, which is integer to um, Basha.
Okay.
So but it's still giving me integer.
That is a mass score. I mean,
No, no,
that is mass score.
reading score.
Okay, reading score. Let me see the code
Yeah,
you wrote. Here is the code.
yeah, look at it.
Alter table name. Modify column reading.
Is it because there is no S here?
Because there's what?
No, am I supposed to add S here at column?
No, 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 no. You're not supposed to add
Okay.
it. Okay, you change it to variable character.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to change it to.
And it I think it was programmed on okay, integer.
Yeah, it
It
was
might
on
be your data
integer.
structure because your code is correct. But did you try changing another one? Let's know.
It's only this. I've tried changing mascot, but it's still showing me the same thing.
The same thing. Have you tried changing another data type, like where you have text, maybe to integer? Maybe you tried that later. Let's know where you are troubleshooting. You have to check it that way.
Okay.
All right, so let's continue and see. Hope you can see my screen now. Hope you can see my screen. Let me confirm.
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, so let's look at one more data cleaning technique, and then we'll look at another category of data selection. We'll look at data selections. Probably we'll start that and see if we can finish it or we continue from there in our next meeting. Now, we have learned how to add a new feature to our data sets. We have also learned how to drop, and then we have also learned how to modify data type. All these are issues that can arise when you are working with data in SQL. So I hope you know how to tackle them. Then we want to look at how do I delete record? How do I delete record? So let's assume, let me run this particular line of code. Let's assume that I want to delete record in a particular ID. So you can see that this particular data set does not have ID. When I say ID, I'm talking about number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. That is serial number. This is supposed to be ID, but there was no ID in the data set. There was no ID. So let's see if we are going to use the name, maybe sub-Sahara space Africa, where you don't have ID, you can use another criteria to actually what? Delete. You can use another criteria. Where you have ID, I'll show you the syntax. So I will run it and see if the ID is, if it will recognize it, despite that, because I'm seeing this as ID being the first column. That's supposed to be ID, but I don't think it's there. But let's just look at it if you have ID, because it's very important you understand that. So how to comment? So how to delete a specific record using the ID logic. So ID means number one number, that is serial number. So once you have an idea of the serial number of that record you want to delete, you can use this method I want to use. But if it doesn't work, I will use the second method where you do not have serial number, then you have to target the record by its name. If it's name of somebody, you target the column name, and then you specify the person's name, right? So what we are going to do here is the syntax, we introduce a conditional statement, which we are going to see more of it as we go into the next level of analysis with SQL. Where clause, that where is a conditional statement, just like the way we have it in Python as if. So wherever you want to do the work of if, you use what? Where, when. All these are conditional keywords in SQL. So the syntax will be, I'll start by using the two keyword, which is what? Delete. I'm going to start with delete. That's the keyword I'm going to use first. Delete. Then delete. What do you want to delete? Delete from. You have to specify the table where you want to delete from. So delete from the table name Amazon. Delete is a keyword. From is another keyword. Then to specify the location, the table, and then, like I said, you can decide to write everything in one line or I break it just for my code formatting. Now, you bring in the where, because it's not everything you are deleting. You bring in what? Where clause. Where. Now, since you are using ID, you now say where ID is equals to, you put the name or the number of that ID. If it is record at number 2, you put it there. If it is record at number 100, you put it there. That is where you have an idea of where the record is. So you end it. So let's try it and say the record we have at number 2 is what? Sahara Africa country what? Rwanda. So let's execute it and see if you can see that what? It could unknown column ID, because you don't have ID here. Now where you do not have a ID, what we are going to do is to use the name method. So I will bring back the data set again. Let me run this again. So I will target, let me target one word first. I'm targeting Europe. I'm targeting Europe. So the record at this, I want to delete it. So what I'm going to do is this. So I will say where I'll call the header name, where region, because that is where I have that particular name I want to reference. Where region is equals to, now the value you have there is a string, it's a text, so you have to quote it. Where region is equals to, is either use this normal quote or use the inverted comma, like I specified the other time. Follow the case, Europe, and then you end it like this. So where record is equals to this, you want to delete the whole of that. That is what you are simply saying. So let's take note of that. So if I run it, am I still getting error? What is it saying? Delete from Amazon. Where region is this? Okay. I hope I'm correct with. Let me try the other quotation and know where the error is. So it's not still recognizing it. Error unknown column region. Let me check if my spelling is correct. Let me call back the data. Region. So I think there is a problem with that region. This icon that is here, there is something there. But let me just to debug. Let me try country equals to what? To value. Country equals to value. So let me see if that's where country is equals to value. To value. I think I'm correct. Let me see. You are using save update mode and you try to update. Hope my to value is correct. Let me try and find out. Hope it's not from the data structure, but let me still debug. To value. Let's try something. Let me try something and see if that will resolve this. So I'm just debugging. Let me try. So I'm converting this to comment first. To comment first. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can add primary key to this very one and see if I can. I think it's from the data structure, but let me try the primary key option first. So I'll say alter table, then the table name is Amazon. I'm adding, what I'm adding is primary key. The primary key that I am adding is ID, and then let me run it and see if I'm going to get. I want you to try it from your end there. Let me see, because the code is correct. Sometimes your query development environment can run into this error. But let me try, write this code from your end. Let me see what you are going to get. Let's debug it together. While I'm doing that, let me even try it on a different. Sometime you want to verify if the problem is from that sheet. You can use another sheet while you are trying it there. Let me try this. Use DG tag. Right. So I'll say alter table Amazon add primary key ID. primary key column do not exist in the table. I think it's from the table. Which other? I think I have only, let me try another table just to find out. I really want to know what. Let me use a NIIT table and see if I have, just to check. So under it, let me show the table there and know which one I can work with. Show the table there. I hope you are trying. So I have the same Amazon here. Let me call it out. Select all the record. I want to know if I have record there for Amazon under this table. Okay, it's the same. Good. I have ID. Good. I have ID in this particular. So you can see that it's the same data set, but when it was read in that Digitech table, it did not add the ID, but this one added what? ID. So let me use that syntax I was trying to explain. Hope you are with me, sir. Hope you are still here. So
Yes, yes, I'm here.
delete, delete, um, delete from the Amazon, delete from the Amazon where ID, since we have ID here, where ID is equals to, let's say I want to delete record at number 1, where ID is equals to unknown column ID. Okay, so I think the ID there is capital letter. Let me see if that is the issue. So let me call it. Have you tried it over there? I think the error, there's still error. This icon here, this something there is an error. The data was not properly read here.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
You are still writing your code on Amazon. You are supposed to be using NIT.
No, 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 no. I've already used NIT and I have Amazon under that same NIT.
Okay.
I have Amazon. The same data was loaded there. The only difference is that the one that was loaded over there started with region, but this one added what? ID. But yet, there's still error with that ID. So let me confirm from your end. There's
No,
issue.
no, my own doesn't have ID, but
Does not
yeah,
have
it's not,
ID.
yeah,
Okay,
it's not
because
working.
the issue is that is why what you would do as an assignment, try that before the next class. What you do for me, from Excel, add what? A column ID, then load it here and run this code. Let me use that to know how to troubleshoot it further. So because the issue we are having here now is that it's not recognizing it, probably the way the data was loaded. So go and check in Excel, add a column, let it be the first one, then put ID, and then put numbers like this to the last record. Then load it in, then write this same code. You should be able to work. Do you understand what I say you should do, sir? It's an assignment. So we'll look at it
Yes, yes.
together. So let's go and try it. All right, so I will just introduce you to the new topic. So at this point, I believe that we expose us to the basic data cleaning techniques in SQL. So if you are given a data set, you know how to perform some of these basic tasks. So now we'll just start this. We will not be able to finish it. In SQL, we don't have a visualization. We don't have graph, except to use the one in the website, which I'm going to show you probably in the last class. But this very one, you cannot, this very one, you cannot plot graph. So the only type of analysis we have to do here will be this declining data filtering or selection techniques, and then data aggregation. So we have these two topics remaining. The one I'm starting now. Then once I'm done with this set of analysis, then I will now conclude with data aggregation, like all those summing, minimum, and the rest of that. So let's look at data selection / filtering techniques in SQL. So the first, let me see if I can, because I have most of them here. I think I have where I have. Let me see if I can. I'll walk you through my slide. We can go much. Right. I think this slide will do justice to what I want to explain. See. Done all these ones. Done all this. Done all this. Okay. I think I should be able to navigate. Now, the first task is under this is how to select all records from a table. How to select all record from table. We have used that, but I just want to recap it because this is where we are supposed to learn it. So the syntax is simply select. Because you are selecting all, you put the asterisk, select all from the location. So these are two keywords. Then let me go back. We are still on this table. So the table name is Amazon, and then you end your code with the semicolon, and then you run it. So with this, I have been able to select all record from a table. So it's part of data selection techniques. Come just a sec. So it's part of data selection techniques. So when you are given a data set, you are supposed to know how to select all the record, probably for you to draft your analysis question. You will definitely want to see all the record in the table. But from here, you'll be able to know, okay, these are the number of headings or headers that are in this table. So I am going to switch to the Digitech because I discovered that the headers here, most of them need modification. You can see that the two words, there's no space, but the one we have over there, we have already added underscore. So I will just switch to Digitech database using what I've taught you. So I'm just switching from that now that I'm here. And then I will select again, select from, select all record from the same Amazon, and then I run. Okay, I think I have better, good. I have underscore already. So this data set is already cleaned up. Now, then the next type of filtering is, supposing from this entire data set, we are asked to pull out only this particular, the company want to see, or you as a data analyst, you want to see only values under what says channel. That is from the whole of the data set, you want to select only what says channel. So that is the next tax. So here is what? Selection of a specific column in a data set. So e.g. here, e.g. we want to select sys underscore channel. Right? So the syntax to achieve this is we say select. Now, since you are not selecting all, you will not bring in the asterisk. Select, then you call that column name straight away, the way it is in the data set. I think it's the first letter is capital letter. So sys underscore channel. So make sure that you follow the case. Then from will follow. You have to specify the table name. From what? Amazon. Now, that should be described as, that is if you want, but you can leave it like this. Then, after this, you end it, run it, you have only the values in that column selected. So you can see that with this, I'm able to view only what? The information under that specified column. So these are filtering that could be involved. So the next selection is if we want to select 2 instead of 1. So how to select or filter 2 or more features in a data set. I hope you are following, sir. In a data set. So let's assume that the task is, let me run this again. From this data set, I am asked to select country and item type. I'm asked to select country and item type or any other one or region. So let's see how we can do that. Let's see how we can do that. So select, you mention 2 of them and separate them with a comma. So I'll start with the country. Start with country. Then comma, followed by the next one. Item type, I think it's written like this. Item space type. Don't know whether there is S in the item type. Okay, no S. Now we're having that issue that I told us the other time. So in this case, I will just put inverted comma here just to settle the case. And then from which table? After the last one, there should be a comma. From which table? From which table? From which table? From which table? The same word, Amazon. Right? And then I end my code. So you see that what? I have just 2 of them what? Selected. All right? So these are different level of filtering. Now, another one is if I want to select based on a criteria, single criteria. So here, let me say what? Data selection. Data selection based on a single criteria. Based on single criteria. So how do I go about this? So e.g. select or filter record where sys channel is online only. So we want to select record. So so here from the entire record, let me view the entire record again, so I'll highlight what we want to achieve. You can see that here you pull out all the record, both offline, transaction record, and online. Now we want to see only record where sys channel is equals to online. This is a conditional selection. All right. So how you are going to do this is that you are going to involve the where clause, which I said represents if. So I'm going to say select, then all first. We will interrupt it at some point. Select all from you specify the table, Amazon. Now you will not end it like this. You will not end it with your semicolon because you are here to define the criteria. So you now go down, or you write it on the same line and write where the criteria column need to be mentioned, which is what? Sys channel. Sys channel is equals to, then you recognize it as a string, is equals to the way it is on the data online. And then you end it. And then before you can add the semicolon, you can write the whole of this on a straight line. There's no alarm. So if I run it now, I am going to get only record equals to what? Online sys channel. So you can see it. I hope you are following, sir. Let me get a response. I hope you are still following.
Yes.
All right. So this is one criteria. So let's do one more criteria. Let's say I want to select, the company want to see only record where item type is baby food. They want to know probably how many of them, or they want to view them. So let me do one more single criteria before I close with double or more criteria. So data. Okay, let me just go straight to the tax.
So please, let me just give me 2 minutes. Just give me
Okay.
2 minutes.
All right. All right. So we just want to perform another task that to do with single criteria. So the question was select or filter records where item type is baby food. Where item type is baby food. So what we are going to do here is the same syntax that we wrote here. So the only thing is that I will just copy this to save my time, Control C, and then paste. Then this line remains the same. So the only place I'm going to change is here. But this time around, we are targeting a different feature. So I'll put item type here, the way it is in your data. Item type. But you can see that we have the space. So remember, you put the inverted comma to envelope it just to save your time. And then you come here and specify the name of that item, which is baby food, the way it is in your data set. There's space between the baby and the food and the capital letter. Please make sure you follow it that way. So if I run it, so I get only what? Baby food what? Record. So I can easily count and then understand what is there. So this is another a single criteria filtering. So we just do one multiple criteria, and then we'll stop there. I will allow you to go and get different data sets to play around all this that we have done to sync before we continue. So in our next class, once I'm done with this one, we are still under this selection. We are still going to look at some grouping selection and some little bit advanced, and then before we go to the data aggregation section. So now let's answer, let's data selection, sorry, we use comments. Data selection with multiple criteria. Data selection with multiple criteria. Now, let's cite an example. Let's say select or filter records where this channel is online, and that's the keyword. And once you are going multiple, you keep using the and item type, and item type is and an item type is baby food. Two criteria. So the same logic, you just keep adding and. So the syntax will be select all. First of all, observe it this way. Select all from the data table. Then after this, you can now start defining the condition, where the first one is where sys channel is equals to, remember how we type it, online, where sys channel is online. Then I will now bring what? And that's the keyword. Then the header of the next criteria, which is item type. So I put that in inverted comma, item type, all right, is equals to, item type is equals to baby food, the same way it is in your data set, baby food, right? And then you end your code. So by the time I run this and then you see it, so this is two criteria and I've gotten the information. You have what? Online, all through here, and then you have what? Baby food here. That is what shows that the two criteria were fully applied. Any questions, sir? I think this is where I want to draw the curtain, and then you go and master all this for our next meeting, probably tomorrow, if it's approved by you. All right. Any question?
Um, no, not for now. But don't close the account. I'm not done with this class.
Okay. Okay, you are writing.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so hello, fan. This is Digital Z Hub, an online training platform where you can learn numerous test skills, ranging from cybersecurity, data analytics, just like this very class we just watched, but this is with SQL. So we can also train you doing the same thing with Python, with advanced Excel, with Power BI, and Tableau. And then we also train on website developments. We train on Python coding for app developments. We train on graphic design. We train on basic and advanced Office program like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. And then we train on Sage 50 for accounting students. And of course, cybersecurity, like I've mentioned earlier on. Train on AutoCAD for engineering drawing. So you need any of this training, you can contact us at, you can directly WhatsApp me on +234 7069665919. So you can WhatsApp me direct and ask for how to go about this training. Most of our training are organized very early in the morning, like this very one, from sometime 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then we also have the one that runs late evening that starts from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then we have weekends. You can call and tell us when you feel that is more suitable for you to have your classes. That is one of the advantage of learning from Digital Z Hub. Aside that, we have seasoned instructors, individuals who are still practicing, who have made a lot of impacts. I started from myself. By the grace of God, I'm also a lecturer at NIT Asaba, and then I am also an instructor here on this platform. And then there are also other instructors that can be called upon depending on the program you are registering for. So feel free to reach out to us. You want to also find us on YouTube. We have not less than over 300 master classes like this video recorded and uploaded there, which you can really find good resources that can improve your technical skill. So you can find those at Digitech, Digitech Zeal Hub. On YouTube, you can find us through this handle. Then in case you want to also find me directly on my Facebook page, where I upload most of these videos on a weekly basis, you can search for Eguero. On Facebook, you can search for Eguero Prosper. You are going to find me right there. Now, if you want to also reach out to us on Facebook via our official handle, you can search for Digitech Zeal, and search for Digitech Zeal Hub, or you can also check us out what Digital Z Academy. So there are two Facebook pages. You can reach out to us. You want to reach out to us via TikTok. We are also there. All you need to do is to write this same link, but you need to add period in between. You need to write it this way. Add dots on TikTok. This is how you can reach out to us. You want to reach out to us via WhatsApp, via website, just log on to www.digitechz.com.ng. Right? So from the website page, there will be a link where you can connect to our WhatsApp community page where we give updates. Most time we come up with free training. Like another free training is coming up purely on Python programming for 2 good days, starting from January 3rd and January 4th from 8 p.m. Make sure that you make it a date with us. Save the time. January 3rd to 4th, 2026. I will be live to also train us on Python. So you want me to add you to the WhatsApp group, kindly WhatsApp me via this number and then demand or request for the group link, and then we'll be glad to give it to you. Then you can join the group. So it's a session that you cannot miss. I am going to expose to us the logic behind programming generally. We are going to look at different types of data and how to probably build some basic application that can solve real life problem with Python. It's a session you cannot afford to miss. So see you there. Bye for now. My name again is Eguero Prosper, an IT consultant.